We have breaking news at this hour. Vice presidential Republican candidate J.D. Vance now trying to turn assassination attempts by crazy people into a political issue. Listen to what J.D. Vance said tonight, what he is now calling the difference between conservatives and liberals on this issue. Let's listen to this.
The big difference between conservatives and liberals is that no one has tried to kill Kamala Harris in the last couple of months, and two people now have tried to kill Donald Trump in the last couple of months. I'd say that's pretty strong evidence that the left needs to tone down the rhetoric.
All right, after saying that, J.D. Vance then said he would be an example himself of toning down his own rhetoric. Joining our discussion now is Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, who's running for re-election in Rhode Island. He's a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and he's the author of The Scheme, How the Right Wing Used Dark Money to Capture the Supreme Court. Senator Whitehouse, I want to get to the Supreme Court and the New York Times reporting inside the court, but I just wanted to address this breaking news story about J.D. Vance assigning political motivation to two obviously crazy people who have been involved in these last two events. When there is no political motivation that's known. And then, I don't know what you call it, is he complaining that no one has tried to kill Kamala Harris? Those are his words. No one has tried to kill Kamala Harris.
Yeah, it's pretty stunning to talk about your political rival in that way. And obviously it's happening because she's kicking their butts. And so they have to resort to this kind of invective and rhetoric. But I think it's pretty clear that both of these individuals who took shots at Donald Trump are not liberals. They are unhinged and have considerable connections into Trump world and Ramaswamy world and all of that. So I think he's wrong on the facts. And I think it's deadly dangerous to start talking about people taking shots at Kamala Harris.
And of course, historically, we know every president and every vice president have faced constant stream of death threats throughout their service in both parties. Senator, I want to get to this New York Times reporting about the Supreme Court under the headline, How Roberts Shaped Trump's Supreme Court Winning Streak. And here we have Supreme Court leaking, this time internal memos about the decision-making process, which doesn't seem quite as patient and deliberative as they want to present it publicly.
Well, there were a bunch of interesting things about this story. One was that when it helped Trump to make a really fast decision to get him on the Colorado ballot, he got a really fast decision. And when it helped Trump to get a really slow decision to postpone the immunity decision, they postponed it until they realized they had a majority to create this very dramatic new immunity doctrine. You described it very well earlier. And notably, it appears that the liberal appointees on the court didn't see that coming, that they expected that the district court's ruling, the Circuit Court of Appeals ruling, the lack of any such precedent anywhere in the history of the United States Supreme Court was going to guide the court to the logical place, which is there's no immunity for a president. This is a rule of law country. And so it adds to the shocking nature of this small group of right-wingers creating this immunity. And the third piece, of course, is the question about, I guess you'd say, what did he know and when did he know it? If Roberts removed Alito from the insurrection case because of the battle flag story that came out just 4 days before he removed him from the case, asterisk, super unusual to remove Alito. I mean, like unprecedented. What did he know before then? Because that story was available in the press, and Alito knew of it back in 2021. So was there a moment when Roberts knew that the Alito family was flying insurrection MAGA battle flags outside of their house and assigned him the opinion on the insurrection cases and stuck with it until the story broke years later. That's a pretty important question to get to the bottom of. But through the whole thing, what you see is backstage maneuver. This business that the Supreme Court judges or umpires calling balls and strikes. No. The analogy is Broadway, and the show is the big decision at the end. But behind it, what we don't see is all the maneuvering by Roberts that led to the immunity decision, that led to Citizens United. There was an enormous maneuver strategy there. Someday somebody's going to write a book on backstage maneuvering by Roberts.
And the Roberts memo that's about the immunity case, before the case is even formally before them, he is saying how he will rule in that case and how he expects the court to rule in the case.
Yeah, he's trying to organize the gang of six together that he ended up being able to do, and teeing up an extremely aggressive opinion with what you see also repeatedly here is almost no effort to reach out and try to find any kind of bipartisan compromise. Once he's got his majority, he jams the throttle forward. And you see that in this case as well. And it begins, as you said, even before they have the case properly before them.
Great reporting by Supreme Court correspondent for the New York Times, Adam Liptak, and a co-author whose name I don't have in front of me right now. Senator Whitehouse, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.